Good morning, my loves. Happy Sunday. Beautiful day here at the lake. High today is 105, currently 93, and it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. But it's beautiful out there. Again, thanks everybody that is sending thoughts and prayers and very kind words regarding Finn. At the moment, he's snoozing. At the moment. It was a very, very, very long night. Pacing, howling. He's in a lot of pain. That we're just going to leave it at that for right now, okay? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So, excuse me. Today we are discussing consequences. Are you, as a parent, teaching your kids about consequences? Were you taught consequences? We all have consequences in our life. There's rules for all of us. We all have to obey rules. Whether it's religious rules, tenets of whatever your religion may be, like the 10 Commandments, do unto others. Well, that's a kind of a cool rule right there. I kind of like that one. But there are rules. So you have those type of rules. We have traffic laws. Those are rules. You have to send your kiddo to school. Your kid has to receive an education in the U.S. That is a rule. Guess who woke up? There's a lot of rules in this world, and we have to follow them. And if you don't follow the rules, there are consequences. Teach your children this early on. I know of a gentleman, and this is a person, I know this person personally. Parents were very wealthy. Mom had some issues. She was hospitalized a lot. Dad was very wealthy. The kid, when he was a kid, holy freaking terror. In trouble all the time with neighbors, with the law, anything and everything you could imagine. And mom and dad threw money at it. If he broke a window, they would pay for the window. If he physically hurt someone, ran into somebody's car, they would just write a magic check so it would go away. He never faced consequences. So he didn't care what happened because mommy and daddy would make it go away. As he became older, he learned of consequences. He'd been tossed out of high school. I mean, he got back in. He was a brilliant person. But consequences. You can't cut school. You can't do this. You can't do that. He thought he could. The rules apply to everybody but him. Until he started seeing consequences. And he fought back. These rules do not apply to me. They apply to everybody but me. Got into college. Same thing. Got someone pregnant. Not my problem. You're the one with a baby. Not my problem. It's your problem. It's your problem. He had never been taught consequences as a child. So growing up, the rules apply to everybody but him. Oh, hell no, not me. Now as an adult, it's really bad. It is really, really bad. Brilliant person, brilliant career. But every time they do something unethical, illegal, immoral, not my problem. Yes, this person is a narcissist. Grade A, first class, neon light, siren, everything, narcissist. But it also falls back on the parent for never teaching him consequences. That yes, you do have to follow the rules. When we say no, no means no. No does not mean no for right now, but in 10 minutes we're going to change our mind. No means no. Teach your kids consequences. Stick to your guns. Yeah, I mean, I'm older than a dinosaur. I was taught consequences early on. Oh, hell yes. No meant no. And if mom said no and you went to daddy to try to pull it, but dad? Oh, honey, you weren't only grounded for 1 week, then it was up to 2 weeks for going behind somebody's back because they're a united front. Yeah, there's no way of getting beyond that. And if you did something wrong and you said, I'm sorry, and you cried and it'll never happen again, well, too bad. You still have to pay the consequences. It doesn't matter. Are you sorry you did this? I'm glad. You should be. It didn't make any difference with the consequences. I've never had a speeding ticket. I've never had legal issues, thank God. I try to live a good life because I understand consequences. As a nurse, there are consequences. You know, you see it every day. People play with guns, they get shot, they end up in the hospital. Consequences. 4th of July. People play with fireworks. They get in fireworks wars, throwing them at each other or holding them in their hand. You know, who's going to let go first? End up in the hospital. Consequences. There are consequences. Kids break a window. They accidentally set the yard on fire. They hurt somebody's dog or cat. There's going to be consequences. There has to be consequences. And I don't care how much you love your child. If you really love your child, you will teach them consequences. And you will stick to it. You won't say, well, I know you're sorry. Don't do it again. I know you're sorry. You should be. But you're still grounded for a month. I'm still taking your phone away for a month. But I'm glad you're sorry. Taking your phone away for a month will really secure that sorrow and make sure you do not repeat this bad behavior. There are always rules and consequences. For jobs, we all have careers. If you break the rules at work, whatever that could be, it could be a dress code violation. It could be your attitude. You might hit somebody. You might divulge company information. All kinds of, things that can happen. There will be consequences when that is discovered. Absolutely, positively. There are rules. And then people get mad because they got in trouble. Well, then don't break the rules. If you know the rules, follow the rules. Sometimes the rules suck. Okay. Now, little side note, when my son was growing up, I was raised in a very conservative, wealthy household, very strict. And you didn't buck the system. No meant no. Bottom line, no meant no. So when I was raising my son, he always had the option to come to me and say, can we talk about this? I think you're being unfair. Great. And we would sit down and we would talk about it. Open, honest, non-judgmental communication, and he would plead his case. And he was good. He knew what to say. He was very articulate, very smart young man, even as a child, even when he was 5. He could sit down and say, I don't think it's fair that. And he would go into detail. If I was wrong, if I was too harsh, I would admit, okay, maybe I was too harsh. That rarely happened. But he learned about justice, fairness and justice, pleading your case. And if the final ruling is against you, well, the final ruling is against you. But he learned about consequences and fairness and all that goes with that. And he's kind of like that, he and his wife, with my granddaughter. Just please, I cannot stress this enough, teach your kids to follow the rules. Follow the rules of your house. Clean. We have dinner, eat what's served. Take your dishes, put them in the sink, put them in the dishwasher, pick up your room. When they're 3, honey, they can pick up toys. It's not complicated. They can pick up their toys. And if they pick up their toys every day, they get a gold star and maybe they get an ice cream cone or something. Okay, that's great. But they're learning responsibility, rules, and consequences. And if one day they threw a tantrum and they did not pick up their toys, okay. End of the week comes, they're ready for that ice cream. No, baby, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. Because remember the calendar this day? They're going to cry, they're going to scream. Do not say, well, it's okay, but next time, well, we won't get ice cream, but we'll go for a candy bar. No. Nope. They broke the deal. Stick to it. When they're older, they break curfew. Why did you break curfew? That should be the first question if they break curfew. Why did you break curfew? Did you run out of gas? Was there a car accident? Did you have a flat tire? If you've got a flat tire, with today's technology, I want a photo of that tire. I want proof. I'm not going to take anybody's word for anything if I were a parent today. But there has to be consequences. If they just lost track of time, they were having fun and lost track of time, they forgot to call. Their phone battery was dead, whatever. I'm sorry that happened. You know the rules. Whatever your rule may be. Stick to those rules. If your kid sneaks out, oh, honey, there has to be grave consequences for that one. Cheating on a test, not doing homework, not going to practice, lying to you. There has to be consequences. If you love your child, teach them accountability, responsibility, and consequences. It's not fun. Being a parent sucks. Absolutely, positively. It has a lot of, really, like that all night long. All night. You know, there's a lot of joyous moments that are just amazing moments. But there's a lot of times we are the bad guy. We are raising them to become good citizens after they turn 18 and go out into the world on their own. Today, you have kids that are teenagers, and all teenagers say this, that I can't wait till I'm an adult. I can't wait until. How many people have kids that are in high school, out of high school? Can they survive on their own? If they weren't living in your house, you're paying the bills, you're taking care of the car and the car insurance and all of that, could they survive? Would they know how to cook, clean, pick up after themselves, how to pay rent, how to budget money, how to live? Do they have a clue how to sew on a button, how to survive? It's your job to teach them this. Do they know what to do if there's an emergency? Do they know what to do if they get involved with the police? Teach them accountability, responsibility, and consequences. Please, and don't back down. We're not supposed to be their best friend. We're here to teach them and get them ready for life. There's plenty of times my son was pissed at me growing up. Okay, he's 47 now. We're good. But, that we had our moments. It's just the way it is. But he's a good guy. He, abides the laws. He's a great dad. He's a great husband. I'm very proud of him because I held him accountable. He knew rules, responsibility, and accountability. If you love your child, teach them accountability, responsibility, and consequences. If you love your child.